A Man in His Cage Volume 4 review. I heard a voice. It's saying the words I always longed to hear. Fukumaru. It's mealtime. Retired concert pianist Fuyuki Kanda has found a new lease of life since he adopted a year-old cat Fukumaru, an exotic short-haired left front coach for months in the pet shop because of his initial appearance. So when Kanda bumps literally into his on-time pianist rival Kanade Hibino at the pet shop, he overjoyed. On the other hand, Hibino is just a cat. Hibino is far from overjoyed. He spotted Kanda walking out of his recent piano recital and still feels hurt and snubbed. How is it, then, that he finds himself bringing his mother's cat, Marine, unceremoniously dumped into him recently by his insensitive mother, to Kanda's place? So the two cats that he had met, these could, as all cat lovers know, proved to be a recipe for disaster, but it turns out that Marine is Fukumaru's little maid and big sister. The two cats bond, and after some very awkward moments, the two estranged pianists began to talk to each other again. But Kanda is still traumatized by the final concert recital that he gave at the time of his wife's death. When he fled Hibino's recital, giving Hibino entirely the wrong impression, he realized he still is unable to enter a concert hall without suffering a panic attack. This is obviously preying in his mind. For guitar teacher Moriyama overhears Kanda telling the manager at the music school where they both work that he decided to hand him his notice. The reason why he can face the prospect of being at the hall for the upcoming children's concert. The young music teacher is horrified. Mr. Kanda is his idol, and the thought of him leaving the school is too hard to bear. Luckily, all the staff feel the same way and implore Kanda to stay. What will the older musician decide to do? He's been suffering this, undoubtedly a form of PTSD since his wife died and although he loves teaching, and his young students obviously love him, is limiting his life. Perhaps Kanda's childhood friend Kobayashi, long and cheerful, and a dog owning can think of a way to help. And meanwhile, Fukumaru's world revolves around his daddy and food for wherever he can get, including stealing the fish from Kanda's plate. Aojin occasionally thinks back to his silly days in the pet shop when no one wanted to buy him, and the only consolation with the top but kindly meet the advice given him by a handwritten Black Main Con, but became to that early mentor that he was bought by a woman and her young son. Omi Sakurai's popular and successful manga continues into the fourth volume with more of the same alternation of chapters advising the plot and cute four-coma snapshots of Okumaru and Kanda's life together, such as the mysterious carb dash, a cat maneuver cat owners will recognize, scritch, lick, Fukumaru's hidden cloud technique, etc. It's hard not to suspect that the mangaka is a fan of stories about Uchi-san, older men. As with the arrival of Hibino, we now have three older but attractive male protagonists. Kanda's childhood friend Kobayashi makes it the third member of the trio. Beneath the fun and eccentric cat antics lurks a genuinely tragic story of learning to cope with loss and regret. Outro with the many chibi images, the common elements with the cats balance out the human drama well. Tender Angel's translation for Square Enix manga continues to help bring the different voices of cats and humans to vivid life. It does seem Blakesley's choice of lettering. It can be easy to find a variety and different way to convey Fukumaru's cat speaks in English, Mew Bim, Bet I Am, and Thank Mew Daddy, etc. But its translation rises successfully to the challenge. Like the earlier volumes, this fourth entry in the series has the benefit of a double-sided color page to the front and the back, showcasing Omi Sakurai's bold use of color. I mentioned that by now, Fukumaru and his gentle, kind-hearted daddy has a found many fans in the English reading manga community, and like me, he'll be looking forward to the next volume, which is out in December. The cover art suggests that the Black Main Con is going to play a larger role in Fukumaru's life. Read for free review on Volume 4 at the publisher's website here. 8/10.